Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Daytona 3-ton low profile long reach floor jack. So if you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link below to this. These are available at Harbor Freight. I don't have any affiliation with them at this time. So this is model DS300LRBL. Now my current jack is over 20 years old. It's a standard 3-ton jack, and jacks have come a long way since it came out. So this is low profile, so this is going to reach under cars that are low to the ground, but it also has long reach so it can lift cars up high. So I think it's going to be a very versatile jack. It says the maximum lift on this is 24¼ inches. The minimum height is 3¼ inches. And it says 34 3/8 inches long reach frame. So if you're putting this jack under a truck and you have to reach in real far, this is going to be longer and it's going to be easier to jack. This also has rapid pump and a foot pump. So this will be low to the ground and you can use that rapid pump to get it up to the jack point very quickly. So let's get this open and check it out. Okay, so here we have the handle. Looks like we have foam around this part. That's to protect your car. And this is the part you pump on. And it looks like this slides together and clicks in place so you can take it apart easily. So here are the instructions. Let me take a quick look at those. So you'll want to read through these. I'm not going to cover everything. Here we have the specs listed. You can pause and read through that. Here are the different parts. This talks about attaching the handle. This talks about bleeding trapped air, adding oil. This talks about how to use it. This talks about maintenance and service, troubleshooting, and it has a parts diagram. So I think the easiest way to get this out is going to be to cut the box, lift up one end, pull the foam out, and then slide it out the end. So to install the handle, I'm going to remove this bolt. I'll slide this end of the handle in there. I'll rotate it back and forth until it fits in. And then I'll replace the bolt. So I have an 11/16 wrench to tighten that down. It may also work with a metric size. So I'm going to lift this up and pull the foam out. I lifted it up with the foot pump. Now I'm going to try and press down on the lever and see if I can lift the front to get that foam out. Okay, so now I'm going to press down the lever and get that piece of plastic out. I'm wearing safety glasses like they recommended. That came out very, very easily. So I'm going to tighten the handle. Let's just try this out. I'll use the foot pump. And there we have that rapid pump. And now I'll loosen the handle to lower it. Okay, that worked pretty smooth. I'll pull that off the cardboard now. Let me go ahead and measure the height. I feel like I'm getting closer to 3.5 than 3¼ but I'm not measuring in the most accurate way. Let me lift it and see how high up it goes. So when you're pressing on this foot pump, it's jacking in the same way the handle would. There I'm at about 24½ inches. So that's super high. So that is very, very smooth. Now this is a brand new jack. I'm guessing over time it may lose some of that smoothness. So now I'll try jacking up a car. I'll start by trying to lift up the rear tire of this Subaru Outback. Now typically I would lift it from the back so I could put a jack stand under the lift point, but I'm just jacking it up for demonstration. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so right off the bat, that was very handy. I was able to use my hand to pump the foot pump to get the pad up to the jack point. Now I'm going to pump it with my foot to see how far I can lift it. You can see the handle here is very close to this other car, so I don't have a lot of room to pump the handle. So I got a decent amount of pressure on that. I could maybe stomp down on it or put a ton of weight on it to jack it, but I'll try the handle now. Okay, I got the tire off the ground. Since the handle had a quick release, I was actually able to take the top pipe off of the handle and pump just the lower part. I had to push pretty good, but it wasn't anything I couldn't handle. I don't know that you'd be able to do that on a big heavy truck or something, but on a car like this, I was able to use the short handle where I didn't have a lot of clearance here. And I'm not showing a best case scenario. This is kind of tight quarters. If I really wanted to lift this like this, I could actually put the jack at an angle too, but I wanted to see how it would fare in a condition like this. So now I'll let it down. So that lowered nice and easy, and as I said before, this is a new jack, so I expect it to be smooth. Even my old jack lowers fairly easily, but jacking up with this was way smoother than my old jack. Let's try it on a different vehicle. So I'm rolling this out to my car in the driveway. The concrete out here is quite a bit rougher than in my garage. It's rolling very nicely. This is some newer concrete that's a little smoother. So I'm going to be jacking up the front of my 2000 Toyota Land Cruiser. This can be a little tricky to jack up in the front because the suspension hangs down quite a bit. So with my old jack, it was real tricky to get the wheels off the ground and get jack stands under the frame. Let's see what it takes to get the wheels off the ground here. Okay, so I have both wheels off the ground, and I'm not even close to the full range of the jack yet. Now typically the jack should be rolling forward, but I do see the front wheel is on a crack, so I'm not sure if it's stuck on that or not. This jack does have pretty small wheels at the front. Okay, so we're at full height there. Let's see if I can show what this looks like. So that's looking really nice. So here's another view. So needless to say, I would not crawl under this without the support of jack stands, but this lifts up way higher than my old jack. It has been very difficult to work under this at times, but with this jack, I think it's going to be a lot easier. If there's any downside, it has small wheels on it, which all these jacks do, so it can be a little rough to roll on some surfaces, but I don't think it's any worse than any other jack of this type. If you want one that has bigger wheels, you can go with something like an off-road jack, but I really like the versatility of this, so I can work on something like a Honda Civic or an SUV with the same jack. So that's the Daytona 3-ton low-profile long-reach jack. That's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.